All right, the other limited time series. This time, we'll do an overview, the series overview on McLaren MP4 Championship, which has the reward of 10 gold. And as I was mentioning in the 300ZX Championship overview video, the time it's running is identical. It's running till Monday, the December 17th. So for me, that's Australian time. So for me, that is Sunday, the 16th of December over here in US of A. So check your time zone. Make sure you don't miss out on this wonderful car. A chance to win this wonderful car. All right, so let's jump in. What do we got? McLaren MP4 Championship. Winning McLaren MP4 by 100% completing this special limited time series. Raced one of the most victorious F1 cars of all time with near perfect performance in the 1988 season. Yes, one of the very, very historic F1 car with some historic drivers, right? So, the reward is going to be totaling 100 gold, and to complete it right away, it'll cost nearly 2,000 gold. So, here, I'll spend the gold and check out what the series is going to be like. I already have the car, by the way, because I won it through special event that ran like earlier this year or late last year. I cannot remember, but we've done it before. So if you haven't checked out my preview video of this series, please do go check it out. I'll put the link in the description below along with the original special event Fearless link. So anyway, enough of my shameless self-promotion here. So let's jump in and check out what the series I cannot speak series is like. Tier 15, we got 4-lapper cup race at Hockenheim Grand Prix. And the PR requirement is 106.4, as they have mentioned in their on their website, the Fire Monkey. So, in my preview video, I mentioned basically you get there by bringing engine up to 5th tier, which is pretty expensive. But, I mean, it's an expensive car, so, you know, got to do what you got to do. So, let's see. Do that. And then, of course, get the cash upgrade following. And then I need to bring my cheaper upgrades. So, suspension, that's another 70 gold. And brakes, 455 gold. And as you can see, with the cash upgrade, it brings my PR up to 106.5. So now, if you are starting fresh with 0 upgrade, then you might take a slightly different path to reach 106.4. I went with body because that's how I ran through the special event, right? Of course, getting body upgrade helps with the top speed and acceleration. Brake upgrade, I rarely find the brake upgrades very useful in those situations, but in these type of situations with limited time series, I find brake upgrades very useful because it's always the cheapest one. So my guess is, so I maxed out body in this case. But if you're starting fresh, or if you haven't gotten that 4th tier body upgrade, which was, I want to say 140 gold, you can alternatively go with the brakes upgrade for 125 gold. So you save, what, 15 gold? But I believe that will land you right on 106.4. So that is the cheapest path to the PR requirement of 106.4. So engine up to 5th tier, otherwise 3 across the board, except brakes maxed out. Or you can max out body as well. Then you'll end up with 106.5 instead of 106.4, I think. And everything else is more expensive. So yeah, so the body or brakes are the 2 of the cheaper upgrades that you can get. So there's that quick review of the upgrades that you're gonna need to get your car's PR up to the required number. So let's see. Yeah, that is very, very expensive. But as I said, it's expensive car, and it's a lot of fun. You know, like this car is a lot of fun to race, as you will soon, find out once you start doing some racing in this limited time series. By the way, if you get your PR up to 106.4, you can do 75%. You can get 75% completion of the bonus series the cars featured in MP4 for Historia, and that gets you another 48 gold. So you got 100 gold you get back for completing this limited time series, and another 48 gold you get back. So 148, and you're spending upwards of 805 gold. So, you know, that's not terribly good percentage if you strictly count it as upgrade discount. But the car, as I said, is a very expensive car, and it's a very fun car. So, and it's a very historic car. So there you go. Now, let's check out actual series, what it's like. Tier 1, we got Hunter at Silverstone Grand Prix, Speed Snap at Dubai Club Circuit, and a Cup at Indianapolis Road Course, a single lapper. Alright, and so I don't see any issue there. Tier 2, we got Speed Record at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. So we'll see what kind of speed we can achieve at this new track. And then we got Elimination at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. And we got a Cup at Bathurst Mount Panorama, single lapper. And the PR requirement is 96.2. So that is, of course, higher than the base PR. So if you're running fresh, you're going to have some of your upgrades, first tier cash upgrades, done, which takes 12 hours. So that's another thing to keep in mind. These expensive upgrades on these expensive cars, cash upgrades do take a bit of time. In fact, like the last cash upgrades that you need to get for engine, I think it takes 2 days. So yeah, you gotta, if you want it, you gotta get rolling on it right away. So there you go. You've been warned. All right. Anyway, tier 3, we got a head-to-head at Monza Road Course. Single lap, I would assume. Okay. And autocross at New York. And by the way, by the time I think you get to tier 3, your car will be in red. Anyway, now we got a single lap cup race at Hockenheim. PR requirement 97.3. All right, so that's not terribly long. And then tier 4, we got Endurance at Nürburgring Mühlenbach Life. Drag Race at Porsche Test Track Long Road Circuit. It's always at the Long Road Circuit. And the Cup is at Daytona Road Course. Single lapper, most likely rolling start. And PR requirement is 98.2. So I'm assuming that that is just beyond what you can reach with cash upgrades only, because that's been the trend throughout. So I don't expect any differently in this case. So in order to reach the 25% completion and get some gold back, you're gonna have to spend a bit more gold than what you will get back, as always is the case. All right, so moving on, tier 5. We've got Hunter at Catalunya Club, head-to-head at Le Mans. All right, so we got a lengthy race from early on, but of course this car can cover those distance pretty quickly. So, all right, and then we got 3-lapper Cup race at Melbourne with the PR requirement of 99.1. All right, moving on, tier 6, we got elimination at Spa. Autocross at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit, and the Cup race is going to be at Indy Circuit of Brands Hatch, 4-lapper, and PR requirement of 99.8. So smaller increment there, but it's kind of insignificant because completing tier 6 doesn't do you any good, other than unlocking tier 7, which is necessary, right? Alright, so Endurance, Suzuka West, Speed Record at Hong Kong, and the Cup at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit. It's just a single lapper. That's a little disappointing with this car. I'd like to see a little bit longer Grand Prix Circuit race with this car at the new track, but it's not meant to be. PR requirement is 100.6. All right. Moving on, tier 8, we got head-to-head at Daytona Motorcycle Course, most likely a rolling start once again. We got Hunter at Monza Junior, and Cup is at Dubai International Circuit with 2 laps, and PR 101.3 is required. All right, and that is of course the 50% completion. Tier 9, we got Autocross at Catalunya National, Speed Snap. Once again, Mount Panorama, you gotta service your car. All right, and hopefully it is doable at least, without too much struggle. And then the Cup race is at Nürburgring Grand Prix, 2 laps. All right, PR requirement is 102 even. Moving on, tier 10, we got Speed Record at Hockenheim Short, Endurance at Indianapolis Road Course, and the Cup is at Porsche Test Track Short Road Circuit, 5-lapper. PR requirement 102.7. All right, moving on to tier 11. You got a drag race at Suzuka Grand Prix. Most likely, you're gonna have to service the car. I don't know. Tier 11, this far into the series, drag race. Drag races do get pretty competitive. So, and the elimination is gonna be at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix. And we get a Cup race at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit, 3 laps. Okay, so that's gonna be kind of fun. Of course, Red Bull Ring kind of special for this car since both were introduced at the same time in Real Racing 3. PR requirement 103.4. And tier 12. Of course, this is the point where you get 75% completion. We've got a Speed Snap at Hong Kong, Autocross at Le Mans, And Cup is going to be at rather narrow and curvy Formula E circuit at New York. 5-lapper with a PR requirement of 104.1. All right, so let's see, what was the last one? 103.4. So without adding any upgrades on my car earlier on, the way I won this car through the special event last year or earlier this year, I cannot remember exactly when, I actually can get through 75% completion. So I can just collect. How much gold is 75% though? I feel like the last 25% is gonna give me the most amount of gold, like maybe 25 at the end. So that would mean, would I get 75 gold for completing 75%? I don't know. I should have paid closer attention on that one. In fact, you know what? Let me check that out. Check on my other device. Oh, hello. We get a gold rewards here for the daily reward. All right. That took a while to collect. Here, 75% completion of this gets me 60 gold. Okay, never mind. So, but at least I can get 60 gold. Or if you already have the car, the chances are you should be able to at least reach tier 12 and get 75% done, which means you are guaranteed 60 gold for just coming this far, which is not bad. So that's that. Anyway, tier 13, we got head-to-head at Brands Hatch. I'm expecting it's a single lapper. Yep. We get Hunter at Melbourne. And Cup Race, another one at Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit, and this one's got 6 laps, so that'll be kind of fun. This one has a PR requirement of 104.9, so obviously I need those new upgrades to get past and reach this point. Tier 14, we got a speed record at Mount Panorama. Speed record generally not as bad as speed snaps at Mount Panorama, right? Speaking of speed snap, we're gonna get one at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. All right, so that's usually not too difficult. And then we get a cup race at Dubai Hill Circuit, 8 laps with the PR requirement of 105.6. So, and of course, the final tier, we got endurance at Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit, drag race. We're gonna need to service the car. At Monza Road Course, and the cup, of course, is the Hockenheim Grand Prix, 3-lapper or 4-lapper. My bad. With a PR requirement of 106.4. So there you go. This is an expensive series, yes, but as I am repeating over and over again, this car is a lot of fun because if it's an F1 car, so it does rely heavily on the downforce, right? So if you haven't driven F1 car in the game, it's gonna be a little bit of a adjustment, a bit of a shocker, perhaps. But look at the grip at 2.51 G, and most of that comes from when you're going super fast, right? So faster you go, more grip you get. Slower you go, hardly any grip you get, right? So that makes these cars very exhilarating to race because you have to you have to figure out, first of all, whether you can take certain corners at full throttle, because If you can and you do it, then of course it's a lot of fun. But if you miscalculate and just, go full throttle where you really shouldn't, then you will find yourself far away from the track. Most likely facing the wrong way too. So at the beginning, perhaps it might help to run with the brake assistance, possibly. And if you don't want to get spun around too much, then steering assistance also helps as well. So you don't necessarily have to set them high, but you get a generally sense of like braking point suggestions from the game with those assists, right? So, of course, I'll be running with 0 assists. So look out for the playthrough video of this series, of course. So there we go. Now I gotta restore my game here so I can get back the goal that I just spent on completing these limited time series. So, all right, so stay tuned for the playthrough videos of these limited time series. Until then, take care.